Welcome.
What up, guys? This is your host, Louis G, alongside with me.
Black in the house, baby.
And this is the Brother from
Another Mother podcast.
All right. Let's just, so guys, we just want to welcome you guys to our channel. Thank you for tuning in. And we just, we want to talk a little bit about our podcast. What we hope to achieve, what we hope to push out as far as content. We want to talk about a variety of different kind of subjects and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, give you the difference between
my upbringing, his upbringing, stuff that happens in the world.
Definitely.
On a day-to-day basis.
Black and white, yin and yang.
Hood, suburbs
right here, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't always grow up in the suburb, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just want to give y'all a feel of who we are and, you know, share our lives with you guys.
That's right.
One of the things that I'm definitely going to mention, it was funny that it happened.
Which was?
When I went to Walmart.
Again.
Hater.
Privilege. White privilege.
Hater.
Should I call it?
Hater.
Definitely hating.
I went to Walmart and I got some cereal. I'm not going to mention brands because, you know, I'm not going to pay for that. So
he didn't get cereal. You got a barrel.
Yeah, it was a mega size. It says mega size instead of family size or whatever.
I am close to 40 now, or I don't know how old I am. That doesn't matter. Never in my life have I seen a mega size cereal. What do you need a mega size cereal for?
To eat inside of a mega bowl. There was also like a s'mores kind of cereal that I had that I video chatted him about.
Which is not too bad. I can understand having s'mores, but
it was the brand that threw him off. He was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm. No sense at all.
And then also Dunkin' Donuts cereal. I don't know what brand that is, but I saw Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, "Yo, that's dope."
Dunkin' Donuts cereal, like we're never gonna get Dunkin' Donuts cereal.
Caramel macchiato at that.
Caramel macchiato. I don't even know how to spell that. The closest I'm getting to caramel macchiato cereal is freaking going to Dunkin' Donuts and pour it in my cereal myself.
Yeah, I mean,
disgusting.
Nah, it's very good. Alongside with this hot chocolate, by the way.
Cheers. That's some good stuff.
I know. I made it. So yeah, I mean, we just we want to give y'all a taste of our lives and stuff like that. Alongside with that, you know,
some other range of topics.
Yeah,
that we like, basketball and so on.
Basketball, boxing, sports, funny YouTube videos.
Or just YouTube videos that kind of relate to what's
going on in the world.
In the world, or like what's happening in a moment in our lives that we can relate with.
Definitely. One of the things that brought my attention was stereotypes and stuff like that.
Stereotypes. I've been victim of a couple of those.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was. How do I put it? I don't want to say racially profiled because it wasn't like a person of authority or anything like that. But I remember one time I went to South Carolina and I was in a elevator and there was someone who, you know, was in there, older male, and me and the people who I was with, we were a little loud and stuff. You know,
being
we were
teenagers, right?
You know, we were just having fun, and person comes out of the elevator and he goes, bunch of spics.
Yeah.
I mean,
that ain't jumping?
No.
No.
Uh,
Another difference.
But yeah, I mean, I'm Puerto Rican.
Because I would have walked.
He's half Puerto Rican and stuff like that. So I know that me growing up, we have our stereotypes and stuff like that. And
I have been stereotypes with stereotypes that don't even fit me. I have been Arab, then the black, then the type of Spanish.
I got that once before too.
Well, Arab?
Funny story.
Well, I guess.
At
with
the
the
time,
beard?
I had a thicker beard.
Okay.
You know, I trim it down because the wifey, she don't like the thickness.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, I'll trim it. So I trim it down to like a 2 or whatever. But one time I was at a gas station. Check this out. I kid you not.
A gas station. Okay.
I was at a gas
See where
station.
this goes.
I was at a gas station, and you have a Muslim guy, and he's one of the attendants there. And he's like, hello, my brother. And I'm like, what's up? And he was like, you Muslim, right? And I'm like, nah, I'm not Muslim. I'm Christian.
He was like, take that beard off.
He was like, oh, but you have a beard. And I'm like, that don't mean nothing, man. I just like my beard.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like,
it's probably the way because they kind of wear their beards a certain way. And maybe you had it that certain way.
It was a long beard. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing about stereotypes, because where I used to work at a vitamin company, and I used to work with a lot of Muslims there too. And my supervisor, he was a Muslim, but he shaves.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he shaves like to the thing. So then I told him about how I went to the gas station, and I told him that, and he was like, oh, that's a very bad stereotype, because not all Muslims have beards. Muslims also, we have
I guess I've been
shave.
stereotypical.
So, we've all been at one point stereotypical, where we stereotype some other people.
Either mistakenly or on purpose.
Let's just be real.
50-50.
So but let's try and bring that to a minimum. We live in a day and age where people get offended very easily.
Very easily now.
And I definitely don't want to.
The whole cancel culture thing?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to get canceled.
We can't.
We can't afford it. We just started, bro.
We're not sponsored, so we can't get canceled.
That's one thing. Like, you know what? We have a video that we want to show you guys. Something interesting that we saw. Hopefully,
what
about stereotype? Hopefully you guys will like it.
So this one's the stereotypes around the world, right?
Stereotypes of your country.
Oh God, hope you have time.
We have giraffes that walking down the streets and wish, no.
Don't respect human rights.
A lot of people would think that Nigerians are into fraud.
That is not true. Scary,
Never heard that.
extremely religious, outdated, close-minded. It's all negative and subjective.
We walk around everywhere we go to because apparently we don't have any means of transportation.
We don't eat.
That's crazy. Meanwhile, there's a Mercedes right there.
It wasn't hers though.
Cheese and chocolate. We don't do handful of food, but sometimes we do handful of food because meat is really expensive here.
Drinking a lot, especially vodka. I think it's partially true.
When we talk with
I
our
think she was on
parents,
vodka right there.
I do.
Maybe.
My country is Colombia, so it's okay.
If you consume drugs like cocaine, even though you're not seeing the violence behind it, you're kind of responsible for Mexican blood. Please stop doing it. Consume local drugs.
Local drugs. Consume your own local drugs. Don't get it from us.
That was funny, man. My local drug right now is Aleve or Advil.
Seriously, I try to stay away from that stuff.
Oh man. Anyways, let's continue the video.
The people that you see on the news, they are Muslim extremists.
Not everyone believes in Islam, and not everyone is Muslim.
I think that people think that we're quite polite. I think the UK is generally quite rude.
People say that.
I would have thought she was from New York, dressing like that, not UK.
Yeah, I mean, Canada has the stereotype where they're supposed to be nice.
The nicest people, and I gotta say, I've met some Canadian people, and they have been nice, very nice. So I'm not. It hasn't been proven otherwise yet to me.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that there's rudeness everywhere you go.
Pretty accurate.
I never heard about the UK being nice.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I don't think everyone knows, especially me. I'm not the biggest athletic person.
When I went to America, everyone thought that I'm from Russia.
People think we're all bogans. I've never had anybody come up to me and be like, "G'day, mate." The only people who say that are the people who aren't Australian. Just say hello.
By the way, I did that accent so many times.
You done it?
Growing up.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
A common misconception about our country
My bad, guys.
is that we have a white genocide. That is fortunately not true. We
Never heard
do,
that.
Unfortunately, have a very high crime rate.
Probably a
It's
movie
very
thing. I don't
And
know.
the stereotype that a lot of African countries get that poor and actually live in like very terrible conditions.
Apparently, we live in tree houses.
Peruvian people.
Said that she lives in tree houses.
By the right of the sun.
My international friends, sometimes they ask, do you have showers in your houses? Dude, what are you talking about?
We have no water in the savannas.
We are not spies.
People here are uneducated, which is false.
That we absolutely do not have any electricity.
Not just loud.
Fancy.
Everything that you have, we have just a different language. Maybe that's the only barrier.
People are generally very hospitable here.
A lot. That's just Latin American culture.
She's Brazilian?
I think.
Yo,
A lot of these people do not look like what I believe, I guess I'm stereotyping, them to look like from their countries. Except for,
yeah, like that Peruvian one
Chinaman
that you had mentioned before.
yeah,
He
did not.
was like, she's from Peru? I'm like, yeah.
Okay. Even the one from Australia.
Yeah, and I had to tell you, like, yeah, they're very diverse, man.
Did not know this. Australia's the last place I
but-
will ever want to be, though.
But you know why I know that? That they're very, very diverse? Because of the kids, man. They used to watch this show called High Five House.
Okay.
It's like one of the big kid shows. We used to watch it on Netflix before it got removed. But I saw, like, you know, the what's that word?
Well, a diverse.
Yeah, a
ethnic group?
diverse cast.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, there's a very diverse cast, and then
Which
I
they
did,
probably do just to cater to everybody since it's TV.
yeah, but still, it's very diverse. I've looked it up, and I'm like, oh,
The only thing about Australia is the amount of dangerous animals they have out there that can just take you out.
yeah, definitely.
That's what scares me. I've seen some pictures of stuff
Even
in
a
stores
kangaroo.
while you're there. Yeah, who knew kangaroos were so aggressive?
Anyways,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, that's an interesting video. You know, if you want to see the actual video, the full video, I'm gonna put a link in the description down below. So,
Yes, sir.
so please, feel free to check the video out.
Yeah, comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. But segueing into stereotypes and race and stuff like that, social injustice, man.
Okay. That's something I deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I don't like to go outside. I mean, from going to stores to just stepping out my house.
Yeah.
I'm profiled everywhere I go. Even that in the workplace.
I've had different experiences with police. Shockingly, I know that for me, I grew up in a small town in Perth Amboy, in New Jersey, and you know, Perth Amboy is a very how should I put it? It's very there's a very populated with Hispanic. It's a Hispanic community, that for sure. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans.
A melting pot of Hispanics.
All Latino right there.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, the first time I ever got stopped by a cop, cop was a Hispanic cop, you know. So I'm like, all right, he's a Hispanic cop, cool, whatever. And he was like super rude, super mean, and he like was trying to demean me. Like he was like, "Oh, what are you, stupid?" And I'm like, "Bro, like I ain't stupid, man." Like
they do talk to you crazy.
He was talking to me crazy, and
it's because they're in a position of authority and they feel that they can get away with that. What are you gonna do?
But the thing that had me crazy, I was like, I'm Hispanic. I'm a Hispanic kid.
And that was your first mistake.
And he's a Hispanic police officer.
You know what it probably was? Is that he
Maybe
probably
he'll
expected
relate.
more from you, and whatever you did, he expected better. I don't know. We could have came across a whole better way.
Yeah, definitely. But then I had like other experiences with white cops. You know, mad nice. I mean, I kid you not. I remember this. One time I was driving home. It was like 2 a.m, and I was heading home, coming from work. At the time, I was working a second shift, and there was overtime, so I stood overtime that night, and I ended up getting out like at 1:30. So like, I remember I was like about a half hour away from home, and I'm driving like 95, 100 on 18. And basically, as I'm driving so fast, there's a cop that he's like facing me this way, and I'm going down this way. And as I'm going down this way,
he hit you.
He hits me with the beams. And I'm like, oh man!
Hit you with the spotlights?
Yeah, with his headlights, like because it was completely dark. Like the only lights that I could see was my lights.
That was letting you know that he's coming for you.
So exactly. So his headlights come on, goosh, and I'm like, oh dang, I'm getting stopped. I already know it. Like I'm getting stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So. Me being more conscious now, I'm more of an adult now. I was like 26 maybe.
Yeah, we all had those moments when you're young, you drive crazy, man.
So I was like 25, 26 at the time, and I'm like, all right, this guy's gonna stop me. I'm not gonna deny it, so let me just pull over. So I pulled right over. It gave him time to turn around, and then he put his siren lights on, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm getting stopped. So I stopped. I took all my my license, my registration. I pulled down my window. Now, mind you, I complied before I even had to comply.
Which is the best way to go.
So, you know, I didn't want no trouble, and I was in freehold. So I'm like, all right, I know that this is probably going to be a white officer, so let me just have everything ready. So I had my hand out the window with the license and registrations, which was probably a mistake, but I had it all ready. And he approaches my window, and he's like, you know why I stopped you, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I was speeding. He was like, do you know how fast you were going? And I was like, I was going 95, 100, maybe. And he was like, yeah, I clocked you in at like 98 miles per hour.
Oof. You wild.
And
was it empty though, at least?
Yeah,
streets?
I mean, it was Route 18.
Okay.
So that's like a highway.
Mm-hmm.
So, so he was like, all right, well, let me go back to my car and I'll come right back. I was like, all right, cool. He was not mean. He was cool, whatever. So, I then, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, I'm not going to give you a ticket because you were honest. He was like, you were honest. You had your seatbelt on and you complied with everything. You were cooperative. So I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to give you a ticket for the speeding, but I am going to give you a ticket
For?
because I had my boxing gloves, my Puerto Rican boxing gloves.
They always do this.
So I'll take that. But I'll take it because no points.
They did that to me at least twice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You'll take it?
It's a switch. It's still expensive.
It was $85.
Yeah, at that time I wasn't doing too good. $85 was a couple sandwiches.
Yeah,
man.
that was a bill, but and let me tell you, when I called my wife, I told her, I was like, hey, I got stopped by the cops. She goes, why?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like bended the truth. I was like, I was going like maybe 5 miles per hour. Now later on, I did confess, and I told her the
5
truth.
miles per hour.
I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I was going like 100, and she was like, what? And I was like, he gave me a warning. I got stopped another time, but I don't want to keep talking and rambling about it. But I've been stopped by a white officer. I've been stopped by a Hispanic officer, and totally different. I mean,
but to me, it's not. See, it's not the race, because every race has someone who's a hole. Every race has someone that's nice. Every race has someone that's racist. It's just depending on that that cop grew up, man, whatever's going in his head at that time,
yeah,
and how he's feeling. Because I've been stopped by many cops.
yeah.
And most of the times I got stopped, I wasn't even doing nothing.
Mm.
You just see me with a hoodie.
That's another thing.
Or a hat.
Yeah, I got racially profiled because I had, at the time, you could see that I had a jersey on, I had a snapback on, and he stops me and he's like, "Oh, I'm just doing random stops."
He tell you that?
He told me just like that.
More truthful.
And I was like, "What?"
Because they always come to me talking about
he was like,
tail light out.
He was like, "I just wanted to see if you were okay. I'm doing random stops right now." I'm like, yeah, right. You saw me with my jersey on,
and you probably was blasting music, huh?
Yeah, I was. I'm
exactly.
out in front. But that was that to me that was like a little bit of a racial profiling.
Let me tell you about the one time I got pulled over. I'll never forget this. I'm on the way home, coming from work. I'm driving like a minivan, a family minivan. Nothing cool, but I'm dressed kind of like the way I'm dressed now. Hat, hoodie on, and as I'm driving, I'm almost home, like 30 seconds away from home. This cop is driving on the opposite side of me, looks at me, turns on the sirens, and hits a whole U-turn. You could hear it, and I'm keep going. I'm not paying really no attention. I'm almost home. Sirens on, blasting, hit that U-turn, comes around, and pulls me over. First thing that comes out of his mouth is this stolen?
Wow.
I say, luckily I kind of did what you did, but I don't stick my arm out the window. I'm kind of very careful about sticking my arm out the window. I had everything ready. I turned off the ignition, turned on the ignition, had my stuff ready, came to the window, I got it. He asked me that stupid question. I just looked at him and handed him the stuff. He snatched it out of my hand, went back, did his little thing on the computer, saw that I wasn't, I didn't steal the car was in my name and everything.
Yeah. Does
not hand it back to me, throws it on my lap, and then walks away. No apology, nothing.
Wow.
I'm a thief.
That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
But it just shows you like different people have different experiences, different perspectives, and stuff like that on the police. Not all of them are bad. Some
Nope.
of them are jerk-offs.
I met some good ones.
So, with that being said, I have another video that I want to show you guys
Yep.
on
Kind of touches on what we were just talking
exactly, where different people have different perspectives and different experiences and stuff like that.
about. So they're given a keyword, and with this keyword, they're just in one word explaining what they feel about that keyword.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going online? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So.
By the way, this video was done 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Think
And
about that.
to this day, we are still dealing with this issue. And something's got to get done. Something's got to be addressed. I feel. I don't know.
I feel like the only way this issue is going to be addressed is by mandatory training, like FBI type training, military training. Because a lot of these cops that are out here are scared.
You know what else I thought about? And I don't know about you, but this is my feeling. I think that every cop should have a body cam.
Every single one.
Why? And this is the reason why I think.
And they shouldn't be allowed to turn it off, because there's some cops who have it, but still they could turn it off.
And then they could get penalized for that.
Yeah, but if they doing a crime with that thing off,
they're gonna really have to look into that, because it's like
no proof.
But every cop should have a body cam, not only to protect themselves, but to protect everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because if something goes down,
I'm not saying it's always their fault.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do have to protect themselves.
Exactly.
But
so,
to what extent?
And then on top of that, this is a video of people showing different age ranges too. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
Daddy, I'm good. Officer. Job. Helpful. People. Brave. Men and women who are making sure that everyone's doing right things, I guess.
What they're supposed to.
Popo.
Exactly.
Justice.
Some of these people may have a different background, like me and him. He lives in the hood. I live in the suburbs.
Corrupt.
So we got different perspectives.
Justice. Helpful. Safe. Brutality. Just abusive.
Kind of look alike too.
Brutality? Man, it's because it sucks right now, man. Police used to stand for something good.
Change. I would say help. My times that I've ever dealt with the police, I've actually received a lot of help.
Beatdowns.
Victims of a generation.
That's crazy.
Again, an issue with this generation. I don't think they value life anymore.
Self-imposed protectors.
Brutality. Authority. If they don't mess with me, I don't mess with them.
That's
I look for them like they're looking for me.
Hey,
doing their jobs.
Let them do their thing. That's it.
I believe most of them like to protect
But at the same time, hold them accountable to what. If they.
Yeah, but he said if he don't mess with them, they don't mess with him. You know what I mean? He don't mess with them if they don't mess with him. But then again, sometimes, you know what I mean?
Another thing, like you said, training, right? You said training before, and I completely agree with that. And I said videos. The other thing that got to get addressed within the system is they got to stop looking at good cop, bad cop, blue protects the blue.
But that's not gonna
You
happen.
know what I'm saying?
Police are the biggest gang in this world.
That's a fact, but
and they're family at the end of the day. So
that's a
family
fact.
protects
But
family.
at the same time, like if I'm messing up or you're messing up, we gotta hold each other accountable for what's going on. Like I'm not gonna let you slip. You know, if I see that you're messing up, I'm like, yo, bro. You gotta.
But who's to say they're not holding him accountable behind the scenes? They just don't want him to go down.
But there's a lot of stories
to protect their precinct.
There's a lot of stories how cops they wanna stand up for what is right, but they're scared to do so because, the majority of the people, corruption. There's corruption everywhere.
There's corruption in the police station too. Let me tell you about this, right? So, I'm on a bus, and there are 2 police officers on this bus for some reason, and they're talking to one another, and I'm kind of eavesdropping, and they're talking about how they're scared to say things within each other's because they can get killed by their own officers.
Wow.
Depending on what they say and what they're doing. So to have that fear within supposedly your brotherhood,
yeah.
I mean, are you really going to want to say something to somebody who's doing something they're not supposed to?
Nah.
I mean, they all have guns. Right?
Yeah, so...
They don't actually live in the neighborhoods that they...
And that's one of the biggest problems there, too.
Scary. Crisis. Untrained. Evil.
Right. That's what you said. Training.
I think that's self-explanatory.
You can see the hurt in his eyes. He definitely been through something.
Just open a paper, open the news, or live a day as a black man and you'll understand. Law enforcement. Fear.
Power is what the first thing that came to my mind.
Stay away from him. I don't know.
Yo,
when I was younger, I used to do.
The fact that that dude said power,
which is true.
Yo, but that's a scary thing because like you have kids who probably grew up in school system, being bullied, and they want to go into the police force because maybe they have control. Like some kind of like revenge, you know what I'm saying, towards what happened when they were growing up and stuff like that.
Exactly.
That's something that gotta get addressed.
That's why they need more psychological tests.
Exactly. Like they gotta find out, whether these kids were bullied growing up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
More background tests.
Like we said, training and stuff like that.
Do a lot of stuff, and I used to hate them. But now that I'm older and I have kids, it's kind of like maybe we do need them.
Brutality. The police are just another gang.
Protection.
Concept. Slime. Because they kill my people with impunity and they're getting away with it and they have no regard for it. The only way we're going to get the police to stop chokeholding black people to death is if the police start pretending that black people are really people. But they ain't going to do that shit necessarily, so I need your help. So instead of just filming somebody black getting chokeholded to death, why don't you yell over there, hey, stop it! He's really white and rich! That's just Jimmy Fallon in a mask, motherfucker.
He's being funny, but...
Violent. Force.
Now, the one word I want to...
Serious. Honestly, that whole situation is crazy. Wake up call. America.
The one word I seen that popped up a lot, brutality. Now, as a cop being seen as being brutal, I wish we had a cop here to talk about that part to see how they feel.
Yeah, I mean,
we can give our side on how we feel right now.
The closest thing to a cop that we have going is a firefighter. He's our other brother.
From another mother.
So he's heard stories that maybe when we bring him onto our podcast or whatever, he could probably elaborate a little bit on that too.
Exactly.
I know that recently he had an experience because of the pandemic going on where he went to Sprint, right? And Miguel, he was wearing his firefighter stuff on, like a shirt, and it had like a shield on it, but it's a firefighter shield.
Yeah. But
the person looked at him, another person, and like with everything that's going on today, the person already like profiled him. Oh, he's a cop. So he was being a jerk off, to Miguel.
And that's because the person that was doing that, the experiences that he had with other officers. So
Exactly.
now he gets the brunt of it, even though he's not even.
He's not even a cop. He's just a
And that's
firefighter.
something we need to stop doing too. We need to hold the people accountable that does the things and not blame the others who doesn't.
Exactly. Like,
you know what I mean?
This is a crazy time that we're living in. We just got to be a little bit more aware,
safe, and I mean, even with all that said, with all these videos, some of these people were being as safe as they can be, not resisting, and they still ended up on.
Exactly. That's why I'm pretty sure that's why that guy said evil. Like,
yeah.
Even if he complied, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So I seen this one video, and this I don't understand, but this one person was kind of, I guess, off their meds, and they're I want to say the person that's supposed to be taking care of this person came to the site to stop this person from what he was doing. Cops already had the guns drawn. He said he told them who he was and that he's taking care of this patient. He's a patient of his, and all that. Had his hands up and everything, and the cop shot him. But he didn't die. He asked him, "Why did you shoot me?" And the cop just says, "I don't know."
That's crazy.
I was like, what?
Training is important, man. Training is very important.
And that's why training, and you know what I mean. When he made these mistakes, and it's right there on video, we shouldn't have to wait months.
I was listening to a podcast myself, and I heard just piggybacking off of what you said. The guy said he shot him, and he don't even know why. And one of the things that I think it was the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm not sure, but it was definitely a podcast that I was listening to, and they were talking about how the police, they do a lot of more training as far as shooting and stuff like that,
but no people training.
And like the video that we just watched, the guy said a lot of these police officers don't even live in our community. They live in other communities. So what's going on there? It's like
it's basically you're going into a neighborhood you know nothing about, that you maybe just hear stories on, and if you hear the wrong type of stories, you might be going there guarded a whole different way. As for somebody else who lives in that neighborhood, may hear these stories and know which stories are not true and which stories are true, and knows how to handle the situations a little bit more better. And that's why cops should be from that neighborhood. But then again, I understand why they not. You kind of don't want police from the neighborhood there, because they can I want to say they can probably put a band-aid on stuff, let things go that they shouldn't let go sometimes, because they're from that neighborhood and they don't want to have problems.
That's the accountability thing. Like, you gotta learn how to. There has to be an accountability training, or at least a better one. I don't know the aspects of all that stuff as far as training is concerned. Just want to put that out there. But there should be something more extensive, if that's the case, where, you know, accountability has to be met, like, at a stronger level. And, you know, you living in a community will make you want to be more accountable. You know what I'm saying? At least me.
You would hope so.
I would like to see that more, you know?
I would just like them, because every time I also got pulled over and I'm looking at that rearview mirror, you kind of see them getting ready. Like, the hands close to their holster and stuff. You know what I mean? Which is understandable, because I've seen videos where cops approaching cars and then the person comes out and just starts gunning them at them and stuff.
Yeah.
So I understand they have to protect themselves, but man, there has to be a better way.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just crazy. But, getting off the subject.
Yeah.
It's,
that was heavy.
That's so heavy anyways. But, let's talk about this Dave Chappelle. He's hilarious, by the way.
Hilarious.
Genius.
Yeah. That's the key word right there.
He's
a genius. Especially with the way he's been approaching these venues and the way he's doing his comedy right now. It's not so much comedy, but most life stories with a hint of funniness in there.
Yeah, I mean,
telling his truth.
Telling his truth, but also he's like I said, he's a genius, and this is why I say he's a genius. In the midst of cancel culture, he put cancel culture on blast.
Yep. And
put that into his bits, and said, "Well, you can't really cancel me." You know what I'm saying?
And I don't really think it's a bit. It's how he felt and what he believed in.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just the way he talks about it. He kind of opens your eyes on these things.
Mm-hmm.
And in the latest stand-up he did on Instagram, he started talking about the contract situation that he's in.
Yeah.
And he kind of relates to parts of his life and how he connects all that to what's happening to him today.
Yeah, I mean, everything comes in full circle at the end of the day in life. And another thing that he was talking about was how he shows certain companies respect because they were respecting him.
Like Netflix. Shout out to Netflix.
By the way, Dave Chappelle, if you're listening, not that you are, you probably aren't. But if this gets into your, I want to say, algorithm, I apologize. I was watching the Dave Chappelle show on Netflix and
did not know. But I took that off the list ASAP.
Yeah,
got your back. Sure.
Not watching it on HBO Max, or any other thing unless you allow it to. So
yeah, I want to support those because basically that one that he was talking about the contract that he signed when he was young, and he was hungry and he had a family to take care of and he was taken advantage of.
Yeah,
and. Not for nothing, like he says, they have no right to do anything for him to help him because that's the contract he signed. But then again, that's a contract he signed in the wrong frame of mind that he would never sign today knowing what he knows today, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And in the position that he is. And I believe that even though he signed that contract, I mean, you should want to do good. Just, you know, as a moral compass, having a moral compass, do right by someone. It's best to have someone like this bright mind on your side than having them against you.
That's why I respect Netflix for giving him the respect that he deserves. Like the minute he said this makes me feel bad, they took it right off. And I was like, man, what happened to the Dave Chappelle show?
They're smart because they know it's better to be on his side in the long run than to have this short term.
No burning bridges.
You know what I mean?
No burning bridges.
Yeah.
So I found that.
On an off note, Netflix, stop raising your prices, bro. Jesus.
It's a pandemic, man.
Yeah, man. Soon I'm gonna have to be putting Netflix on layaway, man. Watch half a show, pay for the other one to watch the other part.
Yeah, man. I mean, goodness gracious. But yeah, that was an interesting listen that we had. Like I said, man, that was awesome. But let's get to sports talk. What do you think? Everything that's been going on.
Whew. Some things. What you want to go into basketball? You want to?
You know what I mean.
Look at him.
Kobe.
Ready.
Gotta respect.
Kobe.
Lakers. Obviously, I'm definitely gonna talk about Lakers. A little bit more different than other stuff other than the Lakers I want to get into, but
I want to applaud the Lakers. Hold on a second. Woo! Man, they doing their thing to make sure we get another chip.
Exactly. I mean, I am loving our roster right now. So far, as far as recent news, LeBron James extended his contract. This season was supposed to be his last year with a player option coming up next year. if he chose to go with that player option. But he extended his contract for another 2 years, so that canceled out that player option. So this season would be technically the last season, and then he has 2 more seasons to go after this with this extension.
Which I believe is smart.
For $85 million.
Not so much, not even the money. The money is great, but he has a lot of other avenues that he making money in.
Exactly.
But to stay with this team, the people that he have, everything that he's built so far, he's doing it. He's always been making a great decision. As much as people want to hate for him for leaving Cleveland to Miami
Heat. Back to Cleveland. He came back to Cleveland.
You know what I mean? He's always made the right decisions for himself at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And I appreciate that guy. Exactly. Air horns.
So with that being said, he signed a $85 million 2-year extension with the Lakers, hoping that it could attract. I thought it would be to attract AD, which, by the way, he just signed a 5-year contract for $190 million.
Which I did the math because I'm nosy, and in his pockets, $38 million a year for 5 years.
Goodness gracious!
Great decision, guys. All I need is one. And you got 38 of those.
Just give me one. Goodness.
No, we ain't earned that.
I'm too short for the NBA. So I mean, $190 million, man. But what led to him making that decision?
And I'm guessing he had some conversations with LeBron, because now he's making those smart decisions for himself as well.
I thought that he was holding off on signing the contract because he wanted to make some way for Giannis. That's why
That's what you thought?
Originally. But
which would have been smart.
It turns out that, it wasn't just because of that. It was mainly because he wants security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to have a secure spot in the league. You know what
He's
I'm
getting older and don't have too many years left.
Guaranteed money.
And he was talking about his injuries.
Yeah, his history with injuries. I mean, you got to look at that and take into account that he is injury prone. And the older you get, the more prone you are to injuries. So he wanted to make sure he secured his bag, got that $190 million.
He not only secured the bag, but he done probably secured himself some more rings with that.
I hope so, man. I
mean, contract choice.
3 more seasons with LeBron James, I think we could at least get 1 more.
And with LeBron, another smart thing I think he did, and he might have done this on purpose with extending his contract, is his son might be coming to the NBA soon, so he might even get a year to play with his son.
Yeah,
imagine Bronny and Bron on the Lakers.
I'm hoping so, man. That'll be
then
interesting.
When LeBron leaves, AD's still there with Bronny, and he could show him the way.
Now, a lot would have to be done because the draft is anybody. The draft.
Yeah, right.
That's the tricky part. But we would have to either do a trade on the draft day to get Bronny into the Lakers, or
I would like to actually. I wouldn't want them on the same time. I would like them to play against each other. Bronny versus LeBron, man. Woo.
We know who winning that one.
I don't know, man.
I'm going with LeBron James.
Sometimes you end up beating grasshopper ends up taking over, man. You got to beat the sensei sometimes, man.
Nah, he a rookie.
Like when Iverson crossed up Michael Jordan.
Nah, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, Junior Bronny has definitely a upside to his career coming up.
He's younger now. He's learning from the best.
Which, by the way, did you see? My bad, we had a little bit of technical difficulty.
Technical difficulty, sir.
But back to the subject, LeBron James, Bronny, his picture, he looked like a grown man.
Grown man. We're going to talk about the other super teams that are being created.
I don't know if they're super teams, but
they're on the verge.
I heard some news Westbrook and John Wall got traded. So Westbrook's going to the Wizards, and John Wall's going to the Rockets, which kind of puts...
John Wall's going to the Rockets?
Yeah, John Wall's going to the Rockets.
Ooh.
So that
James
puts...
Harden might want to stay.
He don't want to stay.
No.
That's a gamble. That is a gamble.
Have you seen John Wall?
Yeah, but he's injury prone. So that's...
He's looking real good right now. He came back off that injury and he's been doing... No? No. I think there's something there. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a different team will give him a different setting, so let's see what happens. Along with that being said, that's that. I don't know if the trade with Harden going to the Nets is going to happen now because of the John Wall situation.
I don't think so. Even without the John Wall situation, the Rockets do not want to let James Harden go. And he's under contract. Unless he breaks that contract, it's not going to happen.
Let's see what happens because, once he gets off the contract, he could still decide to leave if he wants. So.
Well, what do you think about him if he gets to the Nets? You think that's going to give us some trouble?
I don't think it'll work out.
No?
Nah, I don't think it'll work out.
Kyrie Irving
and
Kevin Durant.
Kyrie Irving and Harden would be the trouble. KD won't be the trouble. You think that'd be
the same thing as having what's his name that just traded off the Rockets?
What with John Wall?
Not John Wall.
Westbrook.
Westbrook. You think that'll be the same problem? Westbrook.
No, I don't think nothing will change too much from these two teams off of the thing. It'll just give each.
Kyrie Irving is kind of great.
Yeah.
I think he can work with James Harden.
Nah.
And Kevin Durant, he's all around.
Yeah, but see,
I think they can make something
Kevin
work.
Durant is an unselfish player.
Yeah.
Where he can perform on and off the ball. But where James Harden and Kyrie Irving, they need the ball. They always need the ball.
And they're good at creating. So if the ball comes off of him and he gets to a situation that he needs to hit it out, he can hit any one of those two and they can create and make things happen.
I mean, I don't know.
But if it happens, do you think they'll give us a problem?
The Lakers?
Mm-hmm.
If it'll be KD, Harden, and Kyrie Irving, that'll be a problem.
Even with us having giants on our team? Because basically we got a lot of giants on our team.
It don't matter, man. One thing. Well, with the trades and letting go of people, I felt in the postseason, we had a good perimeter defense where we defended on the perimeter. So it made teams hard to shoot from the three.
But we got that new point guard, right?
Dennis Schroeder, yeah.
And
he's
Caruso, the secret weapon.
Yeah. I mean, let's see what happens.
It's going to be a great season. That's all I know.
I'm excited. That's for sure. I'm excited about this season coming up. Just a couple more weeks to go, and I can't wait.
Let it begin.
And
let me know if you like those sound effects, man.
Hit that sound effect again, because this is what we're going to talk about now.
Oh, this is, man, see the Segway King over here. Look at this. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Let's fight.
No, we
did you see that fight yesterday?
Did I? Enjoyed it, man. Let me tell you, ever since I've been going to boxing classes, I have a newfound respect for anybody who steps in that ring. And these two men were amazing. We're talking about Danny Garcia and
Errol Spence Jr.
Errol Spence Jr. That's more of your guy. I knew nothing about Errol Spence Jr.
I knew everything about
I'm not
both.
too much of a boxing guy, more of a UFC man.
I knew everything about both of these fighters. I followed them up and coming. Now they're champs, or Garcia.
Errol had like 3 belts on him yesterday after the match.
I've been known about Errol Spence Jr. I've been following. I can't wait. I want to see him fight against Terrence Crawford. I don't know if you know him too much, but
heard the name. I can't picture the face right now.
That will be a great fight to watch. That's for sure.
I thought Danny was the favorite until I saw the thing. That's how much I don't know nothing about boxing. But because I kept everywhere I was going on social media, anything, Danny Garcia, Danny Garcia. Are you going to see the Danny? Nothing was said, are you going to see the Errol Spence Jr. fight? It was saying, are you going to see the Danny Garcia fight?
I mean, like I said, I know everything about. No, I'm not going to claim that I know everything about boxing. Because I don't. And I've been slacking on my knowledge as far as boxing lately, but I'll get back into the swing of things. And if any of you guys like boxing and you guys have something y'all want to say or share, please comment on the box below. But yeah, like I said, I've been following these fighters for a long time, and when you mentioned the fight, you were like, oh, I don't know too much about this guy, Errol Spence Jr. I was like, oh, that's who he's fighting? Yeah, it's over for Danny. And you were like, really? And I was like, yeah.
I was not expecting it to go the way it went.
And then you go, oh, but it seems like Garcia's favorite. And I'm like, I don't know why. Errol Spence Jr. is a beast.
I was wrong, though, because on Twitter,
100%.
The votes were very, very different.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, look, man, I've been following this guy. He's a beast. He's a pure boxer.
Technician out there, man.
Oof. I mean, goodness.
Very well-rounded.
Still undefeated.
Yeah.
With that being said, dude, you gotta fight Terrence Crawford.
I don't know who that is, but I will watch that too.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get back into the thing with boxing now,
so yeah.
I come from a time where Manny Pacquiao, Ricky Hatton, Mayweather, Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, that's
those are the fighters. You know what I mean?
Old fights.
Showing my age right now, right?
Yeah. So, which talking about Tyson, you think that Tyson Holyfield fight is gonna happen?
Woo. I kind of think it has. You have no other choice but to. Being Tyson, with someone talking crazy like he's been talking, you'd have to answer that call or you would look crazy. So
I mean, supposedly, you know what Holyfield said, right?
Yeah, that he was running away from him, and I don't think anybody who knows Tyson knows that Tyson is going to be running away from anybody.
But he definitely did want that tune-up fight, so...
Yeah, I thought that was a great fight.
It was, definitely.
I like Roy, and I like Tyson, so I thought that was a good one. I definitely would like to see him in the ring, and no ears being bitten this time around. Straight boxing.
Yeah, just less box and stuff like that. Let's keep it simple.
I mean, he might have to bite him for talking all that crap.
Oh my god.
But nah, Mike Tyson's in a different headspace right now. He's not the way he was. So I think that's going to be a great fight too if that happens. And then that Jakey Paulie, whatever his name is, supposedly may have to fight Mayweather.
No, it's Logan Paul. See, that's the thing. The two brothers.
Logan
Paul is supposed to be fighting Floyd Mayweather on an exhibition fight, which is.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't.
He's way bigger than
only because I'm a huge boxing fan. Would I entertain watching it just to watch it, even though I know what the outcome is gonna be? But at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna be wasting my time watching that fight. So I might just...
That fight, to me, would definitely just be a money grab fight.
Yeah, that's all it was.
It's kind of unnecessary and unneeded. I'll be good not to watch him fight anymore.
Who, Mayweather?
No. Paulie.
Oh, Logan Paul?
Yeah, that thing.
Yo, you really don't like the Logan brothers.
Nah, man, shots fired, man.
Oh man, so I mean that pretty much wraps up our podcast for today. It was definitely fun having.
I enjoyed it, man.
This time to do.
Hope y'all guys enjoyed it out there.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you like the show and you like the content that we talk about, or you have any suggestions on any other kind of content that you would like to see, please make sure you subscribe and you like that button, or tickle that like button, like I like to say.
Yes, sir.
And if you have anything you want to say, please you make sure you comment on the box below.
And in the words of the great Muhammad Ali, don't count the days, make those days count.
Exactly. Peace.